Bye-bye.
Hi guys, my name is Jenny Worthington. This is Restore. Is there anything that we want to work on today? Anything tight? Yes. Yes, that would be your glute med. Glute meds often get tight, causes lower back pain. Often the other culprit for lower back pain is weak lower abdominals. Ooh, we don't want that song. I'm going to turn on a fun playlist. Let's see what we got. We got some new folks in the house today. Welcome, welcome. Here's my latest playlist. Here, let's do this one. There we go. All right, guys. So this is a Mind Fascia release. Mind fascia is supportive tissue on top of the muscle. And I just realized I'm going to stand up, so my head's going to get cut off from the video. So, but who cares? It is what it is. So we're going to stand up just a minute. We're going to start with our feet. So we're going to use a ball, okay? So we're going to stand up, and we're going to start with our feet. Now, we're going to have the ball of the foot down the arch, so right here to the edge of the heel, right? So our feet are our foundation. Now, this is a talking class. Feel free to ask questions. I've been studying nutrition for 20 years. So anything about vitamins or minerals, or water intake, also exercises, if something feels weird, and also a personal trainer. So nice and slow, back and forth on that tendon. If we don't have shoes that properly support our feet, it can cause obviously arch pain, knee pain, and hip pain. So I recommend that we actually switch out our shoes every 6 months. My husband loves that. He's like, there's still tread on those shoes. I was like, I work in hill country indoor. I'm not an outdoor person, indoor. All right, so now put the ball right in the middle of the foot, toward the toes. We're going to spread out your metatarsals. So using the same pressure, we're going to move that ball to the back of the foot. Yeah. You're like, I did not miss her. Did not miss her. Yeah. Good. Now we're going to take it from the pinky to the edge and right here. So what we're getting is the insertion points for our stabilizing muscles for our ankles. So if you took off your calf muscle, the muscles run on the outside of the leg and they hook in to stabilize. Okay, we can switch to the other foot. I want to talk about now common imbalances in the foot and the ankle. So often we have arches that cave in, This allows the ankle to come out of alignment, if you can see this here. What that does is put too much pressure on the ball of the foot, and it'll actually cause the front toe to come in. These are called bunions. They actually wanted to do foot surgery on me at 27. And it was at that time I started doing education on different footwear and giving proper support. So if that's the case, then I always encourage clients to never work barefooted. I actually have bionic, the built-in orthotic slippers, so I can run around on those. And then my shoes, I recommend Mizuno Wave Creations. It's a great, it is a running shoe, but it is able to be a cross trainer too because it's not as high. Take it in the middle now, smash it out, spread those out, and then using the same pressure, move the ball to the back of the foot. Ouchies. Good. So when you're assessing a shoe, when you buy a shoe, you want to look at it and make sure that the heel, when you squeeze the heel, that it is not gilt, right? The other thing you want to assess is make sure that the shoe only bends where your foot bends. If this whole shoe bends in half, or if it bends here, then it doesn't have support for the arch, right? If it does that, then I call that a street shoe, or I call that a Sunday morning shoe. You wear that for a couple hours and you take it off. So you're on the outside or on the foot. Feel free to, again, ask questions at any time. I worked in the physical therapist office for 2 years, studied underneath a physical therapist. Any questions on feet? All right, let's make our way down. Grab your ruler. So we're going to get our calves first. I like to methodically work my way up the body so I don't forget anything. And also work the opposing muscle groups as we go up. So first we're going to start with calves. We're going to go toward where my pants start, then to the back of the knee. So we're going to roll our calves. So people in their 30s and 40s are most likely to tear their Achilles. Know what you're thinking? I'm so glad I'm not in my 40s. I tore mine when I was in my 30s. Wasn't pleasant. I don't recommend it. And it's because I didn't properly warm up. So if you're doing any lifting or explosive moves, this is when you want to do myofascial release right before. You're thinking, I'm not feeling anything. You can stack. You can go with the grain or across the grain. Having tight calves can also cause knee pain. So as you get closer to the ankle, you're going to feel it's kind of a more dense area. This is your Achilles tendon. It's about the size of my pinky. You don't have to roll that. This is more for the muscle. If you stacked, we'll try the other side now. How's that feel? My personal training lights are not liking it right now. If you find a knot, feel free to camp out on it. And if you still can't get it with the roller, you can also use your ball. I have a knot right here. Just camp out on it. The pain may never go away, but it will get less. I like it when you got it. Now, if you have a knee issue, sometimes the front of my knee hurts here. It's called runner's knee. Now, I don't like to run, but I get runner's knee, right? So I'm going to take the ball underneath the knee. This is an insertion point for about 3 muscles. And I'm going to roll back and forth. So work with this ball a little further on the outside, and then toward the center of the midline of the body. So what is myofascia? Why are we releasing it? Myofascia is connective tissue. I'm sorry, not connective tissue, supportive tissue on top of the muscle. So when it gets tight, it doesn't allow the muscle to move in the proper plane. So when that happens, it doesn't support our joints correctly. And those tuck jumps that you like to do, Steve, you just can't quite get as high.
I promised you weren't going to pick on me.
Well, you're always good fun. I like that. I only pick on those I love. That goes for you too, Dale. Oh. So one side might be worse than the other one. So the reason why that is we don't treat our bodies the same. Often I have clients that like to stand on one foot. They just come up to me and they're looking at me like this. And they're like, I don't know why my back hurts. And I'm like, you gotta stand on 2 legs. God gave you 2. Here, even. Or you carry a heavy purse on the left side or your child on the left side, causes a hip to come out, causes a misalignment in the spine called a lateral shift. My body likes to do this. Any questions on calves or knees? Don't worry, we're not done with the knees. All right, let's go ahead and flip over. We're going to get the quads. Going to the front of the body. Now you're going to feel this a little more. One, because you have more muscle mass on your quad. A lot of our workouts often are designed to be the front of the body. So biceps or everyday life, you pick up things like this, right? You don't pick things up like this, right? That's tricep. So a lot of us are quad heavy. So we're going to get from the knee to the hip. Now what you have there is a trigger point roller. The trigger point rollers actually used to sell those products. So the grid on there is supposed to emulate a massage. I don't know if you know this. So the smaller ones are designed to be fingertips. The long skinny parts are designed to be like fingers, and the more square parts are to be like palms. I have one of these. You actually have one of the more difficult rollers, so that should be extra painful for you right now. Yeah. But the cool thing about that roller is it's hollow, so you can stick, like if you want to take on vacation with you, you can stick your socks in there, right? Or a wine bottle, either one. Or you can put a strap around you, a strap, and carry it around with you at the gym. All right, how are we feeling so far? So now I want you to take your weight into your right hip, open up, so you can get your left inner thigh. That's going to feel special. Now, if your hips are not that mobile, you can hang off your right hip and come back and forth. Now, as you get close to the knee, it's going to feel extra special. So you've got 3 quads. This is so cool the way our bodies are made. So guess how many muscles are in the quad? 4. Bonus points for you. All right, so you've got 3 muscles that run this way, and then you got one that runs from inside of the knee out here. So often when we squat, we press on the outside of our feet. This fires up the muscle right here behind the knee, and that's what people squat. They say, oh, it hurts my knee. It's because they're too far out on the outside of their foot, firing up the insertion point of that quad muscle. So you come out to yes. I can see your face. We love that. So camp out on that inside of the knee there. Ooh. All right, let's try the other side. So taking the body, letting the left hip roll off, moving the inside. Oh. Be careful on that part of the knee. Oh. So how often should you do this a week? You're like, this is the first time I've done it this year. I like to say 2 to 3 times a week. Maybe watching Netflix, let your animals get in your face. My doggy loves it when I do this. Any questions on quads? Are you breathing, Pops? Breathe. Breathe. All right, what's the opposing muscle group to quads? Any guesses? Oh, I forgot the bonus. If you want a bonus, you can stack your quads like we did our calves, but this is extra special. Oh. So if you have pain in your lower back, it's often caused either from tight quads, hamstrings, hip flexors, or glutes. This is the trifecta or the quadfecta that we're going to concentrate on right now. So after a good leg workout, you should definitely work on your quads, stretch them out, so they don't tighten up and then pull. You get an anterior tilt with your hip. All right, any questions on quads? All right, we're going to flip over hamstrings, opposing muscle group. So what's cool is you got 3 quads that run this way. Remember, you got your 4th that runs like this. But then you have 3 hamstrings that match the 3 quads. It's like there was a plan or something. All right, so I'm going to take it to the back of the knee, up to the buttocks. So this may not be quite as painful. Why? Because you just have less muscle mass on your hamstrings. We often don't work our hamstrings, but if you're in my classes, I usually pull your hamstrings. So, lucky for you. If you're not feeling this, you can stack. Ooh. Ooh. Now I know what you're thinking. Are we going to hold you outside of the thigh? So the outside of the thigh is your IT band. IT band is not muscle, okay? So it's connective tissue. So it's got a lot of nerve endings, right? So when you roll your IT band outside of your thigh, you're just mashing on nerves, all right? You see people outside on the floor doing this and they're like crying. It's because they're just mashing their nerves, okay? If your IT band is tight, you roll the muscles around it, and then I can show you with the strap how to stretch it. But you don't roll your IT band. I'll never show you that. Don't make me cry. You're like, you make me cry every day. All right, now that we've rolled out our hamstrings, I'm going to get your IT band. So go ahead and grab your strap. Put it on the ball of your right foot. Go ahead and lay down on your back. So bending your left leg, flexing the right foot. Ooh. So after you roll, you should get more stretch out of that muscle. So if you have a muscle that's tight, roll it out first and then stretch it. Extending the left leg is going to give you a deeper stretch. So taking the strap into your left hand, move it across the body. Ooh. Ooh. Letting your right shoulder fall to the ground, don't let it come up. Bend the knee, bring it back, take it into the right hand, let it fall out. Back into the rest of that inner thigh, we just stretch out. Good, bend the knee, bring it back. Let's try the other side. Take your right foot, place it down on your mat. Take your strap on the ball of your left foot. So make sure the foot stays flexed. Ooh. One side may be tired of the other one. That's okay. If you ever injure your hamstring, it takes a super long time to heal. Go ahead and extend your leg, other leg out. This is where I always tell the joke. If you're over 40, it's always good to stretch before you do splits. Speaking from experience, I did it about 2 years ago, and this hamstring's over the same. Take a strap into the right hand and let it cross the body. Ooh. Ooh. Taking your left shoulder onto the ground. Bend your knee slightly, taking the strap into your left hand. Let it fall out with the groin. Bending the knee, bring it back nice and slow. Right, release that strap. That's how you get your IT band. Everybody, roll up super slow. All right, let's move up the body. Take that roller. Oh, not roller. Let's get the, no, let's do the roller. All right, let's get the glutes. Let's talk about anatomy really quick. Anatomy. So you got the sacrum down here, which is 5 segments. You got the lower back, which is 5 segments. And then you got your SI joints out here. All right? You stay away from this area, okay? Stay away from this area because we roll out muscle, not joints. Remember? Muscle, not joints. So we're going to stay on the outside fleshy part. So we're going to get the glutes. So go ahead and lay on that bit. Roll out. Now if you come to my classes, your glutes are always sore. Because I'm a pain in the butt. This is true. So glute med often is underdeveloped, causes pain in the lower back. Now, if you just can't get that glute med, then you can sit on one of these lovely lacrosse balls. But that might, I don't think it really works. It needs to be bigger. So I have a ball, I call it my booty ball. My Mary Poppins back here. So this is a 5-inch ball. It's what they call an orb ball. All right, there it is. My daughter went through my bag today. So this is called an orb ball. This is the best to get the glutes. So you sit on the ball like so, and that's really going to. So when I travel just with this ball and a 3-inch ball. Anybody want to try this ball? Just like, ee. There you go. So just the way men are usually designed, they have weak hips and weak glutes. And so when I train men, I work on those areas. They love it. Ladies often have weak shoulders and weak chest. It's just the way you were made. You have to switch to the other side. Go ahead. I am free. Anybody else want to try the ball? So you can get almost every part with that ball. You can roll out your quads, obviously your glutes, you can roll out hamstrings. And then I have my 3-inch ball in here as well. There it is. So this is a 3-inch orb ball. You can buy these on Amazon. This one, I think he was like $15 and he's probably like $20. Make sure you buy the orb balls because I bought foam ones one time and they became eggs because I sat on them. So go ahead and spend the money. But you can travel with these, they're kind of small, so you can go different places with them. So another reason why I like this ball is we're going into hip flexors. So you've got lots of hip flexors, but the one that we like to concentrate on in this class is your TFL. So you find your hip bone and go a little further south. This is going to be your TFL. It's a little triangle muscle. He turns it into the IT band, but it's often very tight. This is the opposing muscle group to the glutes. So you're going to put the ball there, and you're going to lay on it. You'll know when you find it. So this is normally the culprit when you take a long car ride and you get out and your lower back hurts. So what happens is in our cars, we have these bucket seats, right? And our bucket seats, our knees are up here, and it allows this hip flexor to get super tight, right? When that happens, when you stand up, then the hip flexor is tight, and it's going to cause an anterior tilt in the hip, which is causing pressure in that lumbar spine. So we can lengthen out the hip flexor, draw the lower abdominals in, then that way I can get back to neutral spine. But often we come out of the car like this, right? So what I found to help with that is I get a long pillow and I stick it just under my butt, not at lower back, under your butt. What that does is it ends up lifting the tailbone so that your quad is in line with the ground. And I can't tell you how much it costs. Now, it seems like I'm a princess because I have to sit on a pillow in my car, but it's not. But I am a princess. So, this is your TFL. As you move the ball closer to the groin, it gets into what we call the psoas. Bye, Gail. Have a good day. It gets into the psoas. There's a psoas complex. There's a deep psoas that runs along the spine, and that's why I like this ball. So if you go in the midline of the body, take about 2 inches out, and then roll that ball. So if you try it with a 2-inch, your body just engulfs it. But you'll definitely know. If you ever get a massage, ask for a psoas release. You'll love it. Anybody want to try this 3-inch ball? No? Ain't no, I'm sorry. I'll make you chase it. If you haven't switched yet, try your other side. So when my lower back hurts, this is the first muscle I go to. And if you enter your lower back and you can't get on the ground, the first thing that you can do is you can do this on the wall. So find your hip bone. If you can't get down on the ground, and just press against the wall. And you're not going to get as much tension because you don't have gravity on your side. Right under the hip bone. You'll know when you find it. And then if you move the ball closer to the groin, you get into more psoas. Now, this is my favorite part. So take it right in the middle of the quad, and then go up and down. In the insertion point of the quad, and into hip flexor. Yeah, that's a lot. So if you sit a lot, I used to be a web developer, so I used to sit a lot. I had lower back issues. Oh. Any questions on hip flexors? Did you get both sides? No, you should switch them. Everybody get both sides? Yeah. That's all right. Takes all times. All right, you can stay there. Feel free. I don't want to move up the body. We only have about 4 more hours. All right, let's do the thoracic spine. This is one of my favorites. Get your microphone out of the way. So you're going to take that roller, start in the middle of the back. You're going to take your hands to your temples. Bring your elbows in to open up your scapula. Oh. Keep your hair out of the way. Move to the base of the neck. Oh. Get your warm voice. Do what? Yeah, make your oh. It helps. That's my favorite right here. So get the elbows in to open up the scapula so you're not rubbing just on your shoulder blades. All right, pick a side, maybe roll toward me now. You're going to have that roller just underneath your armpit. You're going to roll back and forth. Oh. We're getting into the shoulder complex. The shoulder and your hips are your 2 joints that move in all planes. A lot going on. So as you roll forward, you're getting closer to the armpit. Get a little pet. take one of your lacrosse balls, right in the armpit, and roll in and out. Oh. That's a lot. So play around with it, further closer to the back and closer to the front of the body. Find that spot that's tight on you. Ouchies. All right. Now, if we were friends, we probably would be after this. All right, we're going to take the ball now. So right above the armpit, right about here, you're going to take that ball, let it camp out, and you can use the roller as a pillow. Oh, that's a lot. Erectus spinatus. Erectus spinatus section. Erectus spinatus. If its intrusive point is actually in the front of the shoulder, so you might feel it also in the front of the shoulder. It comes out of C5 channel in your neck. And so if it hurts in your shoulder right here, sometimes your vertebrae just might be out of place. Ooh. The opposing muscle to this one is your pec minor. So if you find your collarbone right underneath that guy and move up and down here, we're going to get the pec minor. This is often a cause of tightness here, causes the shoulder to come forward, which also even has forward head syndrome. A lot of us, when we do our computer work, we're like this, right? I have a lot of clients like this. And so I stretch out their pec, I strengthen their back, and their head will naturally come back, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that ball, we're gonna place it right here. You start with your arm bent, then you can extend your arm, and then you roll the body out. So start on your mat with the arm bent, right underneath the collarbone. Start with the arm bent, and then